Good day and good evening, and welcome back to Roulette Live with me, Chaiji, but you can just call me Kai. Tonight, we're back with actually Roulette on stream. You know what? Just a moment. I feel like I could hear the ones living below me hanging out on their balcony, so no need to disturb them with that. Same as last time, I have the wheel of jobs ready. We will spin the wheel, see what job we're playing, and then we'll do a duty as that. And then we'll continue until something around 3 hours or so. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Depends on a lot of things. And that said, hey Talaba, hey Nox, hey Seros, hey Rost, hey Lana, hey Mizunashi, hey Brontome, hey Genmonica, hey Bubomet, hey Rythian, hey Vespi, hey Tabi, hey Krampus, hey Ilya, hey Paul, hey Vespi, hey Folskeek, and hey ZR Shade. Hope you all do, and DJ Zero Player, and Chief. Hope you all doing very well. Paul says, I'm playing through the free trial on Xbox. What would you guys say is a beginner-friendly class that is good throughout the game? All the jobs are good throughout the game. If you want to play a tank, then I would say Warrior's more complicated in low levels, whereas Paladin is a little more confusing in the defensives department. If you want to play a healer, you can only be a conjurer. But if you level Arcanist to 30, you can also be a Scholar. They're both complicated in each their own way. White Mage is particularly weak in the low levels, but it gets there, right? It gets there. And for all the DPS, I would say if you don't want something too complicated, then don't aim for Ninja. Although you can't start as that, you have to get to level 10 first, and then like do your job, like some class quests, and then you can go there. I would say Bard also becomes really complicated. Arguably, both of the starting mages get complicated in each their own way, but Summoner's considered really easy once you get it. And Black Mage is considered a lot easier now, but I would still say that it is very complicated. So if you don't like figuring out all those things, then keep that in mind. I have guides for all the jobs on the channel, so if you just write a job name followed by the channel's name, you should get all the information you need. And if you're not sure if you're looking at my newest guide, just always go down in the comments. If there is a link in the pinned comment to a new version, then there is a new version. But yeah, I would say look for what you think is cool, Paul, and that should work. Also, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, Faust. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you so much. And also, hey, Faust. And Zaf. Hope you're doing well. And Naomi. Right. I was just astrologian because we were talking about something in the Discord. Now, should we spin the wheel? The Wheel of Destiny. Well, Wheel of Jobs, more like. We're starting with Warrior. Wow! You. And you. Of course. Are we getting Rathalos Extreme? The Intel ad on the website. You know, that is incredibly ironic. I didn't even notice, Mizunashi. Well, that is extremely ironic. Oh, Kitana Ravel. That's a fun one. Hila might be a first-timer. Or maybe not. Returning player. Either first-timer or they didn't have the auto-skip turned on. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, sorry that I didn't even give you a chance to queue, but usually with tanks and healers, it's like, it doesn't matter what I do. You won't make it. Oh boy. Like, even if you had a chance to queue, I would probably have been yoinked by something else. Oh boy, that healer's having a bit of a rough go at it. Also true, Zav, it might be a change they didn't remember to set. It's the end of Tender Valley. Hey Jules, hope you're doing well. I would probably not do a pull like this if it wasn't for the simple fact that I'm on Warrior specifically. So I'm pretty confident that this is fine. Oh, the healer disconnected. Fantastic. Right then. Or not? They did not disconnect. They teleported. That's interesting. Did you see that? They were over there with connection issues, and then suddenly they were over here casting Benefic on me. Thanks so much for the super chat, Mizanashi. Really appreciate it. The person or people who drags Kai into MSQ jail will have ice cream tonight. A full top 2 liters. For me in spirit, since I don't have a subscription. Oh. Well, I mean, you are welcome to try. You know what? I will even give you a few seconds of chance to queue into me for the rest of the duty, so that there's a chance, instead of me just dodging it by insta-queuing. Drag Kai into near raids, they're longer. Yeah, they would be. That's actually true, but wouldn't it also be... Well, I don't know. Would it be harder to drag me into that? Hey Vince, hope you're doing well. Jose Gazzle, hope you're doing well. Like, I'm thinking, if you queue for that, there's a very reasonable possibility that you'll get a lot of other people. Or that it'll just be like, well, there isn't enough people. I don't know. But that is a possible thing when you're streaming Mentor Roulette, that can happen. It wasn't exactly an issue last time, which is why I'm not expecting it to become an issue this time. Oh boy. Hey Leo, hope you're doing well. Okay, well, I tried. I really tried to save him. I'm also doing well, Leo. That's convenient, Bronto. Yeah, still thank you for celebrating 14 months as part of the Cult of the Pink. Thanks so much for the support. Hey, Royal Blood. Hope you're doing well. Ta-da. You know, the saddest part when I like get the jobs that I know that are really strong for me, like that you could put me in most duties that I've seen in Mental Roulette as warrior, and I would probably be pretty solid and would really be able to make a difference. But instead I get like it's a little disappointing when I then instead get a duty that it would be fine regardless of what job I ended up as. Like it almost feels like a waste, quote unquote. Not that it is, because obviously it's not like it would have been a big deal if I'd landed in, I don't know, Ramo Extreme as a black mage. Like, I can't do anything. I can just do damage. Welcome to the game, Leo. Thank you so much. I do hope you continue to enjoy your journey. Me, Matthew. Hope you're doing well. Getting Stormblood Extreme next. Yeah, I'll get it as a job where I can't even do anything about it. My favorite job, at least at the moment, has been for a bit, is Black Mage. Thank you, Aerodel. Shades as every muscle in my body wanted to help that poor Astrologian. Yeah. I will say, I'm looking at them and seeing that maybe they're using Benefic and such a little bit more than they have to. But I will say, I think that's not bad. Like, they are attacking on AoE pulls. They're a returning player, so they might be figuring out what they can get away with and so on. So I think I will say that's actually pretty good. I'll also say that as long as they're at least trying to attack a bit, I don't like the best I'll usually have to the worst I'll usually have to say about a healer that is at least trying to attack a little bit here and there is you might have been able to attack more. But, I mean, it's the same as how, like, when I point out that a tank could have used sprint a little bit more efficiently, you know? It's like, if that's the complaint that I have, then you're probably doing pretty well, right? Oh, man. Wow. There's nothing that could be done there. They just went splat. Hey, Mr. Selex, hope you're doing well. And Ashio, hope you're doing well. And also Emily, hope you're doing well as well. Ooh, that dancer schmoving. Right at the end. Right in the very last moment they stepped aside. Oh yeah, Thrill of Battle doesn't increase healing received in this level yet. Good to have you, Mr. Sedex. It has been a while. Hey Anne-Marie, hope you're doing well. Yeah, pillars like that are a bit confusing. I'll say, in M8N, you know, when I climb, I can't remember. I think one reclear of the duty, only one of all the reclears that I've done, have I actually managed to dodge the pillars fully. Pretty much every single time I'll get hit by at least one. Sometimes I'll just straight up die to them. I can do the whole fight. I've been capable, like I've succeeded the Jojimbo thing in Gold Saucer as well. There's just something about that fight that just makes me go, nope, can't do it. So yeah, I totally understand that. The tip for the pillars in this dungeon, though, is that strangely, the shadows on the pillars indicate which way they're going to drop. And it's actually the case for all of these kinds of pillars, that if you look at the shadow, you can kind of get an indication of where they're going to drop. Did we not enter far enough? How curious. Step in, step out. Does that work? That worked. It's such a strange trick pull. And hey, Lilypad, hope you're doing well. We're just starting, so hard to say. Hey, Gothix, hope you're doing well. And Persis. And I'm glad to hear that, Gothix. Thank you so much. Wow, someone came out swinging. I needed to use 2 GCDs to get aggro. Yeah, a little trick in this particular level range on single target is that so it's not very good for damage output, especially since the nerf that came in 7.2. But in the level range where you have Chaotic Cyclone but not in a Chaos, it may be worth considering that Chaotic Cyclone and Inner Chaos also makes Raw Intuition and Nascent Flash guaranteed critical hits. So if you actually care about the healing a lot, then you can use Chaotic Cyclone for a significant damage loss now, but it'll heal from it'll guarantee some more healing, which can be handy if your healer's dead, for instance, or you're trying to solo a duty. It used to not be nearly as bad, but in 7.2 they nerfed Chaotic Cyclone from 300 to 200 potency, which made, like, before it almost kinda sorta was nearly competitive with Felcleave, but not really. It was like it was okay. But now it's straight up a giga damage loss. Hey Milo, hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Yeah. I realized a little bit late that it was on me. And that there wasn't, and that there was also a circle AoE where it happened to be standing. Oh right, inner release. I was ready to knockback cancel it. the slippery floor strikes again. Get back here, you! Worth it. That's pretty funny. It got the Vuln stack, but it didn't actually manage to take the damage. David, hope you're doing well. Surprise anti-knockback by the release. Yeah, exactly. I also tend to forget. It's really nice that it's rare that it actually becomes a problem in a... Like, in Savage raiding, I feel like, surprisingly. Right. One in the... one down. I'm not gonna force you, Faust. That is, the support is always appreciated, but I don't want anyone to feel like they have to. It's always very much appreciated. Sage! Just 1 second here. Are you messing up again? You are. How did you forget? Zab says our statics warriors struggled a lot with the inner release in M3s. Really? The specific time where there are knockbacks in that fight. If you use inner release like after Storm's Eye in your opener, and then use it exactly on cooldown, it will never be up while you're knockbacked for a reason at all, pretty much. But if it drifts, it can easily happen. I believe the one where you get knocked back 3 times, if like that first knockback hits like 2 seconds after inner release ends, so it's really easy to like cause problems if it drifts even a little bit. Right, I will queue when it says 1:15, so that is in a few seconds actually. I'll say 20. I'll say 20 in case of stream delay. Sorry, I basically goofed up Agent Monica there if they were trying to snipe me. Hey, Lawheartphilia. Hope you're doing well. Hey, from Australia. Nice. That's late then, right? Quick former 7 out of 8 extreme group. Where do we go? Porkozolo. Neat. Hey, Copper Sulfate. Hope you're doing well. Some of the jobs that I'm the very best at are just getting picked off right now. Sage is like my go-to healer a lot of the time. Hey cat, hope you're doing well. Did you know that a warrior can solo walk us almost synced? To the wall! All the way! Yeah, true. Was it Dark Knight that couldn't? At least when we tested. Or when you tested. Hey, Mizuchi. Hope you're doing well. So the thing, now that I know that the warrior seems to know what they're doing, then I'll be doing is that I'll basically start every pull by just letting them figure out when they want to use Bloodwetting. And when Bloodwetting ends is when I'll do something. All the way to the wall. Hey Crow, hope you're doing well. Ow. So far, we've done one duty as warrior. And this is the second one. It's pretty strange how many supports that I'm getting. Exactly, Crow. It's strange because the Wheel of Jobs has 21 jobs and only 8 of them are supports. Meanwhile, both for the actual Mentor Roulette series, I've already gotten like a large majority of just supports. Oh, hey, Walker Zone with a normal comp. Yeah, I know, right? Weird. A lot of people find Astrologian to be the hardest healer. It's often either Astrologian or Scholar. This one. Hey Pokash, hope you're doing well. Oh, the thing is, a lot of the time it's either one of them. So it kind of depends on the person, right? Imagine remembering to put up your dot. Your fancy schmancy dot, AoE dot that you get because you're a Sage. Oh, that's an unfortunate letdown, Agent Monica. Hey Nozea, hope you're doing well. Let's pray the 12's guild test stays dormant today. It is pretty funny when you get a bunch of guild tests. It's just, for me, like nothing happens in them. So the point where it really gets a little bit unfortunate or a little bit annoying is when it happens after like a 5 to 10 minute queue as a DPS or something. Then it's like, yeah, but that was like 10 minutes to get like 30 seconds. You know? I don't really mind when the queue wasn't long, but it is boring. $92 Crow. Yeah. It's a relatively small difference, right? That's concerning, as I'm glad that it didn't actually happen then. Splat. Give me other stings, please. Thank you. Ugh. Did you know Earthly Star is considered a minion? Yes. It is a pet, yes. The weirdest thing about Earthly Star is that it's a pet, which means that it has pet potency, but also on top of that, apparently it turns out that the potency it claims to have is not the actual potency that it has. Like, basically everything about Earthly Star is weird. For some reason. No, it's more complicated than that, Crow. Because Bahamut actually does the potency it says it does. It's just that it's pet potency. So, like, basically there's a multiplier. Like, Summoner's pets do, like, somewhere in the ballpark of, like, 1/8 to 1/6 less damage than the Summoner. Potency for potency, like, point for point. The Earthly Star has a different multiplier, but it turns out that someone found by looking into the files of the game that that's not even that's not enough. The actual potency listed on the tooltip is wrong for some reason. Like, it's just complete insanity. I'll say, Ham, hope you're doing well. Pets are very strange. Ninja's Bunshin is also a pet, while we're on it. And that's correct, Mizunashi. Living Shadow for Dark Knight does more damage potency like more damage per potency than the actual Dark Knight, because Esteem is not a tank, so it does not have the inherent 20% damage loss of being a tank. Hey Seraph and Kraken Moat, hope you're doing well. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Just a little bit behind. Hey Barry, thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that. That is awesome. Apparently I got saved by something getting stunned. Hey Pizza, hope you're doing well. Just straight up pizza. Hey Darion, hope you're doing well.
Prove you are worthy to rule.
Hey Lichar, hope you're doing well. Lichar. The hero of Rathalos Extreme and Sephiroth Extreme.
Chronicles of Eld, return the hunger of roiling waters.
Chronicles of Eld. Hey Riley, hope you're doing well. What does that helmet on the boss almost look like a construction helmet? Because it's yellow, I think. I think that would do it. Because the shape of it does like kind of says something else, but the fact that it is yellow and is, you know, close enough probably makes it look like a construction helmet. Bob the Builder's grandfather. Can we fix it? Hey Tasty, hope you're doing well.
Implacable strength of the mountain, be mine!
Yep, that is correct, Tasty. Hope you enjoy the emotes and everything. It would have been either Faust or Milo.
Spirit of my brethren, your thunder roars!
Your thunder roars! Looked more like a quake to me, but
That you should endure my fury.
Nozia, this time, like just like last time we did the live mental roulette, is each duty I'll spin the wheel for one job. And we started with the whole wheel open. So far we've gotten 2 out of the 21 jobs. Ah, I didn't make it. Oh! Hey, Damarel, hope you're doing well. Boom. Hey, Destroyer, hope you're doing well. Nice. Doo-doo. Evil Kana and Fatman, hope you're doing well. You know, give me a moment. I had actually expected it to be like a little bit brighter for the majority of the stream, but it started to like darken a little bit outside right as we started. Quick, go turn off the sun. Oh, there we go. Now it's not as dark. Black hole sun. And we spin again. AP Joe, hope you're doing well. And thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. I hope your friends are having fun. Paladin. Just 3 supports in a row, everyone. Just if anyone's keeping track, that's 3 supports in a row. Right. I will queue when it says 8:30. Hey, Mr. Bright. Hope you're doing well. Phew. Is it Rathalos Extreme this time? I forgot to grab my potions. That's always so handy on Paladin, especially. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Shisui of the Violet Tides. That means we get to do the funny Gigapole. Yay! Yay! This Rathalos Extreme looks weird. Yeah, you're right. At least it was a Stormblood thing. Yeah, I saw it too, but the thing is, again, it's a returning player, and they are using Holy. They are attacking. So I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine, it's fine. They are attacking, it's maybe a little scary. The returning player. I don't know why they're using Cure 1, but it's fine, it's good enough. There's also the part that based on how many times they're casting heals, it's actually a very real possibility that if I tell them, just use Cure 2, you'll be fine, they might actually not be fine. Hey Demoniac, hope you're doing well. A fun fact about that pull is that the Mutsus appear when a specific mob is killed. What OGCDs does White Mage have at 63? Tetragrammaton? And they also have Benediction. They also have their Lily, their basic Lily spell, the single target one. That's true, Zeros. More so I meant that in case of the options they have. And yeah, that's true, they have Ezais as well. But that's exactly what I mean. I'll let them use their Cure 1. If I'm not dying and they're at least attacking sometimes, then I don't mind. Oh, they also have Asylum, that's true. Monix says, is it bad that I don't want to be a mentor even though I fulfill all the requirements? No, that's not bad. Is it bad that some people are not teachers, even if they have the education that they could be? Not everyone wants to be a teacher. It's not quite the same, but the idea is there. You don't necessarily need that, Zarian. But if you see a lot of those players, then it might not be a bad idea to have a consistent solution for it. I don't really mind enough. As I said, this healer is a little... like, they kind of like being a little bit on the forefront of healing. So if I say, just use Cure 2, it'll be fine, and they use Cure 2 just as much as they would use Cure 1, then they're going to go out of MP. And then it's not good enough. So, like, there's more steps to it. There's more steps to it. And also, I would rather that they feel like they need to spam heal me, because what's coming up now is going to be a huge problem if they're not doing that. Yeah, the key is taking in every single part of the equation. This healer is casting a little bit more heals than they maybe need to. So if you say it'll be fine, it might not be. So we'll see. The shame here is that they are... not attacking at all. They're too caught up in spamming heals, so my hallowed ground means that they're just wasting now. They did find time to open the chest. That is actually mildly annoying. They used Benediction. See, we're fine. I know, right, Cole? Panicking and spam healing me. See that I have hallowed ground instead of using the opportunity to attack. They open the chest. Like, really? Those are the people that came in the middle of that? Hope you're doing well. I didn't even see. I think one of the DPS got yoinked by the boss mechanic. I don't think they are, Freelon. They have used Benediction to not Benediction, Medica 2 at some point in the duty. Oh boy. Now that's what I should have done when the summoner was in trouble before. I just completely forget that cover is insanely long now. Yeah, exactly, Zarian. That's kind of what I mean with they're trying, they are attacking, they're trying, they're a returning player. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and suggest that they will probably get back into the swing of things without me screaming at them. However, it almost feels like they're getting more scared the further the duty progresses, rather than less. Performance anxiety, it very much could be. Again, the point is that they are a returning player. It might be the rust. And even then, they are attacking. Yoink. Exactly. they're probably, like, for instance, on the big pool where they didn't cast a single attack, that makes sense considering the amount of mobs that were there. And for the most part, they have been attacking when it was when they felt safe doing so. So, like, that's all right. I should have pulled with Holy Spirit. I haven't really been doing that in this dungeon. I should be. A test of your benediction reflexes. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight a flight on that. I could plant those GZs out a little bit better. Bad pull just reset. My paws. My Shisui of the Violet Tides paws. Sharks! You know, I'm almost certain she's gonna thick fog as my fight or flight gets ready anyway. Come on, do it. I know you want to. Yep. It would have been a waste to use fight or flight. Gimme barrier. Nice. A limit break was used. I'll give it to the Dragoon. Yeah, both of the DPS were doing reasonably well. The Summoner had a lot of trouble with the second boss. The Dragoon, I felt like, was doing pretty well in the entire duty. The Healer was trying really hard. It's just... I feel like the Dragoon deserved the commendation more. And I do believe the Dragoon had a blank, like a driver's license portrait. I believe it's next week, Damarel. If you're thinking of the Occult Crescent. Any passkey? Nope, you're doing well. Thank you. Hey to everyone as well that came in during this particular duty. That was a lot of... actually a lot. It's next week, Crow. There's also peak as Lodgen over White Mage level range. Yeah, that definitely doesn't help. And we continue. Do we get an additional support? I just once again just want to call attention to the hilarity that is an Intel ad. on this wheel. Dragoon or Ninja? Dragoon. Oh boy. I'm surprisingly bad at Dragoon. I'll queue when it says 1420. Amoral, hope you're doing well. And Red Maiden Gamer. And Red Master. For free space on the wheel, just make it say Blue Mage. I actually did put it. Oh, that was fast. And it's a trial or raid. Yeah, I actually did put a free space on it and called it Joker, but not on this one. On the normal wheel. I mean, at the very least, Emily, from 50 to 60, White Mage gets like 4 OGCDs. Like, that's a pretty huge increase. Not quite the getting their actual like Aflatus Misery, but hey, it's a big step up from nothing. Oh, it didn't go through. I feel like the free space thing is unnecessary when we're doing this many different jobs on stream. Thanks, Ellie. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, indeed, Cole. I think that's actually a record on the channel. That is crazy. Also, Dinky. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Aurelia. Hope you're doing well. We got counter-sniped. Aww. Aww. So close. That sucks. That could have been funny. Did you land in Thornmarsh Extreme? Hey, Clove. Hope you're doing well. Wow. Well, good luck. I hope you win. Good King Mugglemark, good King Mark. Meanwhile, I'm just like in before I get a guild test. And you're over there having fun with Thornmarsh. I'll get to sit here for like 5 minutes to get a guild test. In fact, if you nail it, you might beat it before I finish. Before I get into something. I think the reason for that, Emily, is that in... like, that's not necessarily a justification, but it is a reason, is that originally in Stormblood and Heavensward days, and I think I mentioned that in a few videos, actually, the, the secret of the Lily was completely different. So they reworked it for Shadowbringers. And of course they need to give you something to interact with it at 52 where you unlocked it. And then the other things that interact with it that was added in Shadowbringers are of course learned in Shadowbringers. The reason why I'm like, that's not necessarily justification, but it's a reason, is like, before Shadowbringers, Black Mage just had to pay when... oh, I'm a replacement for 12 minutes. Where are we going? A sheet. Hope you're doing well. Bismarck Extreme. Oh boy, and it's already pulled. Run! There's no reason for me to use all my cooldowns for those mobs. I don't know why I felt so compelled to do that. At least one of our healers is a mentor, so it'll not sneak up on them too hard. Fantastic. I love flying. I could probably have held that life surge for the full thrust. Oh well, this little range is a little weird in that regard. Isn't Bismarck Extreme essentially the same as base? Kind of. The difference is turbulence, which means that hanging out on him hurts a lot. Or it can hurt. The big emphasis on can hurt. But if the debuff times out, you'll be fine. But it'll almost certainly not be fully timed out every time. Bruh, my combo ended just as I wanted to use it. On that note, I think I'm just gonna... Ow. Try and hold... my bigger cooldown so that we can burst as hard as possible when we get to his back. That's really weird. The vapor bubbles have a facing direction. Lightning bolt? Ow. He's got Thunderhead? He was a black mage all along. Bismarck actually is a black mage. Oh yeah, we have a limit break. Nice. Oh, we had a lot of melee DPS. Maybe that made a difference. That was an extreme, yes. What's the echo percent? Let me see. 5%. So they had one wipe. That was weird. And the home team beat Thornmarch Extreme in one pull as well. Nice. Ninja. We start with the supports that I'm reasonably really strong at, and then we go through all the DPS that I'm not really super confident in. I'm gonna queue at 1735. Hey, Vyak. Hope you're doing well. Right. So what I was saying about Black Mage was that it wasn't until Shadowbringers that they had the Aspect Mastery effect trait that made it so that the opposite element would be free when you had like Astral Fire 3 or Umbral Ice 3. Before Shadowbringers, it was just, well, if you use Flare and you go down to 0 MP, then you have to transpose and just wait until you can cast something more productive. And furthermore, Aspect Mastery in Shadowbringers was learned at level 72, which is part of the reason why there was a huge level range where it was actually optimal to just spam freeze. And then in Endwalker, they were like, hey, wait a minute, Aspect Mastery is awesome. We should just let Black Mages have that at level 1. Which is my way of saying there's nothing preventing them from giving you the lilies at a lower level, or even the other actions interacting with them at a lower level. I think that's true, Lune's avatar. The reason why I attacked them is because the Vapor Bubbles, if left alive under other weather conditions, can get in the way of you using the Dragon Killers. And as you could see, no one died, so it was like the not necessarily the brightest solution, but it worked. Riley, it might not actually have been a single attempt, because if you don't last at least 3 minutes, you don't get Echo. But then again, Bismarck wiping before 3 minutes, that's surprising. Seraph says, what happens when you queue in awkward times like 7 minutes? You just feel unbearable agony? Like if I queue and and it's like 7-minute replacement? If I'm a 7-minute replacement, I'm usually curious what happened. I have one time landed in actually Thornmarsh Extreme as I believe I was a 45-minute replacement. And that was in the Mental Roulette series. And the thing that made me go, oh boy, was that despite having been going at it for 45 minutes, there were still players that didn't quite understand how it was supposed to be done. Epoch Ultimate and Zodiac, hope you're doing well. He meant queuing in like 1837. Oh, like that. Oh, the reason why I'm calling out the time I'm queuing is because these people here are trying to queue into me. And if I actually just click queue, it might be harder for them to do that. So I give them a chance to do their whatever setup they need to do or decide what they want to do before I queue. So that is the reason. But yeah, I could call out 1837. I just don't. And also, yeah, Aradel mentioned, I'm not sure how it works with the whole YouTube algorithm shenanigans, but as far as I know, it does help to like a stream while it is live, you know. Tell the algorithm that, oh, this is a good stream, other people should watch it, I'm liking it. So it is very much appreciated, so thank you everyone for that. But yeah, the algorithm is like an eldritch being, so you never know for sure, but it makes sense that it would help. You got a Ravana! Man. I'm over here trying to get the funny funny mental relates, and you guys are just having fun with random extremes. Hey Midichlorian, hope you're doing well. Sarah says Sephiroth Extreme is in my nightmares. Is he that bad? You know, actually a funny thing is that when I got normal Sephiroth, after having done so much Extreme Sephiroth, I was completely confused that the normal version basically starts with the triple knockback thing, the blue circle knockback. So like basically he just skips like a minute or a minute and a half into the fight, and that's where it starts. Hey Bob, I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time. Oh, we have a duty pop, and it's a raid or trial. Is it gonna be extreme? Hey Hubble Space, hope you're doing well. Yeah, Ravana's pretty popular. Some might say that it's a shame that he isn't like a harder fight, but I think it's a very good fight. Rejoice in the glory of combat. It could be Solemn Trinity. It could also be that there's someone that isn't gonna click yes. You've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. Hey, if you think it's fun, that's what was really important. Hey, Snillen. Hope you're doing well. DPS! Hey, Tatsumi. Hope you're doing well. On high I stand, gazing down. Oh. Well. I guess that is something we can do. It's a little weird. That is something we can do. The weird part being that at least one of the mobs would just hang out up there. By the way, because I've hidden all the names and everything, I can only see if you're in my duty for realsies if I recognize your character model or if you write in the chat. Because I don't have the shortened names in the chat that you cannot see. So you'd have to just like some of you can basically be hidden in plain sight if you think that's fun. By just not saying anything in the chat in the in-game chat. If you happen to land in my duty, of course. Hard mind. Gothic says I was the sage in Bismarck. Oh, that's why you put Cardia on me. I had a feeling it was someone who knew me. This is, like, I'm just saying, I'm not the best at ninja in dungeons, just for starters, but doing it in a basically a mob rush, I end up doing a lot of just winging it. Because I have no idea what is actually optimal to do here. Yeah, exactly, Moral. It had to be that. Yeah, that is true, Cole. The reason why I sometimes find it a little tough is more so because certain cooldowns will drift apart and things like that, and you have to deal with that. And while I'm pretty good about dealing with that on some jobs, the sheer focus on keeping everything aligned on something like Ninja really makes it a little rough. At least for me. Ow. Does anyone know how many waves there are in this? This is the last one. Oh, okay. Fantastic. I think that Dotton might have been hitting the big guy. At the very least, maybe. Oh dear. Escape the loot drops. Hey Cole, bad guy. Hope you're doing well. Says, I don't know why this one is so popular on Raid Roulette. I always hate it. The main typical reason that specific duty comes up a lot is that to unlock normal raid roulette, you need at least 2 normal raids, which means that you would need Fist of the Father and Cup of the Father. That is the earliest point you could have, just those 2, which means that a lot of people, for some reason, have only those 2. And when they're leveling jobs from 60 and above, there you go. I know, Silvermint, there's also other people that mentioned. I don't know why I feel so compelled to just choose one and then click OK. And hey, Sorachi, hope you're doing well. And congratulations getting past the 1000. That is huge, because then like it actually like it's almost like suddenly the pile of completed overwhelms the pile of incomplete. Thank you so much for 5 more gifted memberships, Faust. Thank you so much for the support. Very much appreciated. Thank you. People on alts as well, yeah, they might like optimize it by like specifically making sure they have those too. Hey Shaq, hope you're doing well. Spin the wheel. It's a little bit of a shame that we get a duty like that for Ninja though. Gunbreaker. Doink. I guess people are still in their duty, so I'll just go for it. Eight Athena runs in a row. That sounds pretty fun, though. Tanking day, is it, eh? It is, yeah? Yeah, exactly. 3 tanks so far, by the way. Good luck, Faust. Enjoy your raid. I can pay his rent this month. You know, you might be joking, but there are like ups and downs where sometimes I have to take a little bit more money out of the bank. So it is very much appreciated. But that should not compel anyone. The important part is that you appreciate the content so much that you'd like to support me. And until then, I just have to get good enough to deserve that. I was just about to say, is my queue broken? Thank you so much for celebrating a year as part of the Cult of the Pink, Saras. And thank you. Yeah, we reached 30k yesterday. If you need to pay rent, you can always just start some drama. Oh, man. Oh, man. You'll just spam... Oh! Ramu Extreme. Oh, someone immediately left. And one of the sprouts just went for it, apparently. Well, my co-tank is also a mentor, so I'm trusting that they know what to do. The greater concern is that the one healer we have is a sprout, so they might not actually know what to do. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted membership, Nasia. Thank you. That was a little spooky. We had the tank switch as late as possible. Welcome to the Cult of the Pink, Nyland. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you enjoy the emotes. No! Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. There's nothing I could do. The Black Mage stole the orb that I needed exactly in front of my eyes. There was nothing I could do. Oh, wow! I'm scared that I'm going to screw this up. Thank you so much for this huge super chat, Bob. That is crazy. Thank you so much. Wow. It's very much appreciated. There's not even a comment or anything. Thank you so much. Yeah, SEK, I believe, is Swedish crowns. I am going to commend that healer. You have to keep yourself alive, man. The healer's spamming Cure 1. Yeah, but do you see their MP? They're spamming Cure 1 because they're actually going to go out of MP if they don't. Oh, that was so close. Welcome to the Cult of the Pink, Vaz. Thanks so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the emotes. Wow, that was so close. That was so close. I should probably have done a pull timer, but I had a feeling that if I did, it would, like, just barely lose patience for people. Do not steal my orb, Mr. Black Mage. Whew. I left like 3 orbs over in the other end. Where did they go? Now I need them. Like, I specifically dodged stealing those orbs so that they would be more convenient to grab in a bunch. Oh dear, don't follow me. Everyone is perfectly spread, so there's not really a good space for me. It feels like. Oh. We might be able to do it, but the summoner needs to rest someone. Welcome back to the Cult of the Pink, Bob. Thank you so much for the support. And all, and again, the huge super chat. We didn't even get more echo this time. Hey, Kimbo. Hope you're doing well. I see the problem, Gothix. Whoever's the leader, or whoever was asked, didn't click yes to refill members. I'll have to review that after this poll. I think our healer's dead. Maybe not. Ugh. I don't know who the leader would be. Or the way you can see it is that it's not saying finding members in between duty information and striking tree. Oh. Oh man, check out this maneuver. The perfectly mega lucky shot timing. Oh, it is actually the healer. Then it'll probably be reasonably easy to convince them to do the thing. Yeah. Now you should be able to enter. At least someone came in. Which is another sprout. Well... Sage Sprout is a different type of Sprout. That is true. They are at least level 70, right? Yeah, that's true, Deathshe. I don't think there's anyone deliberately like memeing this one up though. But yeah, I do remember that. My God, they're perfectly spaced to be maxed completely out in distance. Hey Harry, hope you're doing well. The problem also is that I need it. Like, basically, the boss will randomly do tank busters on me when I'm tanking. So if everyone's taking up the entire arena with their presence, then I will basically have to choose someone to kill to find space for me. That was the reason why it was a problem. Like, if they basically make a perfect circle around the around the boss so that there's nothing, no place where I can safely stand without killing anyone, that's a problem. But apart from that, it's not necessarily a problem if everyone's spread out. I was caught in the situation that I didn't want to steal the orbs from the tether people while simultaneously seeing that my co-tank really needed a tank switch. I can't see who needs it. Nice. That was hard. Let's see. Hey Navy, Navi Doc. Hope you're doing well. The unfortunate reality is that because anyone really could become a mentor, it's difficult to say, like, they could easily all be jerks. Hypothetically. It's unfortunate that you have had mentors be like that. The good news is that it's not everyone, right? Like, it's not all mentors that are like that. And hey, Troll of Reason, thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you. Thor says that healer was me. Which one of them? Which of the healers was you? The white mage or the sage? Sage that joined late? Oh, hey, thank you for hopping in. That clearly made the difference. Right? It's huge. In fact, Sage and Scholar are, in my opinion, vastly superior for specifically Ramu Extreme, because if someone ends up overcharged, like grabbing too many orbs, that reduces healing from spells. And yeah, Astrologian has a lot of healing from abilities already at that point, but Scholar and Sage can just keep the tank alive with their Adder Skull or Ether Flow. It's pretty insane. Right, I will be right back, and then we'll do more. In the meantime, sanity restored. Alright, I'm back. Also, hey Chris, hope you're doing well. And hey Derp, thank you so much. It's our little mascot, the manatee. It's named the Watcher. Right, back to the wheel. Bard. Right. Time to sing your commentary. Comments. Oh boy. It's another 8-man duty. Where are we going? Oh, Titan Extreme. With half of the... Well, it looks like both tanks are mentors, at least. So that's a good sign. And also the white mage from before seems to be here again, I think. Let's pray to the Watcher for a nice Titan beatdown. Let's, indeed. Looks like the same black mage as well, yeah. I should have used those in a slightly different order. Oh well. I completely skipped battle voice, but you know what? It's too late for that now. You know why? That's why. Oh, whoops. You know what? There was also another bot and they used battle voice. I even replaced theirs too early by accident. I'll keep that in mind next time. That is not impossible, but that's a problem. Ah. Oh boy. Again. That is correct, you can indeed arm's length the knockback. I'm just saving it for a moment where it's actually a problem. Like if, for instance, Titan decides to go into the middle or something. One healer left. That's 2 jails that were saved right on the cusp. Oh dear. There was a tank switch that needed to happen sooner than that. I moved too early. Hey, Raging Bull. Hope you're doing well. Oh no. I should have used that limit break when the ads actually spawned. Ah. So close. That's correct, Tor. Back in the day, if you fell off this arena, you were just... like, you didn't come back. You were just there. Like, you were just down there, and you couldn't even see the fight, because you'd just be... down in the nonsense. Really fun. And that's true, the same for Leviathan. Yeah, bottom of the ocean, what a view. I know, right? Doesn't get better than that. Weird. He apparently queued up that landslide before the heart broke. So he's just like, well, I'm doing this. Oh boy. I was just mashing arm's length in case I would get out as the knockback landed. The tanks were both really good. Was that second or third try? Jose Perrin, be doing well. And Betelgeuse. And everyone else might have come in. It was second. Nice. It is incredible how big of a difference good tanks and solid. Oh, you were the... That's true. That I just realized that now. Because it just said LL for me. That was LeShaw. That was LeShaw. Nice. Well, of course we had an amazing tank then, because it was LeShaw. That's funny. I don't... well, I don't quite know what you mean by that, Troll of Reason. I get that it feels like it's a relatively small thing, but like Iron Jaws basically means that you get 2 GZDs worth for 1 every time you refresh with that. But yeah, I will say if they take a pass on Bard and deem that Iron Jaws is removed, or alternatively, a Scholar, that one of the dots gets removed, which then makes Iron Jaws pointless, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. And I repeat, Kinvao and Vince, that that one day we might get worldwide travel. But I do hope that we at the very least get region-wide Party Finder first. Redmaster says, I'm starting to wander in a dungeon. It's best to use a limit break right away or to save it for the final blow on last boss. If you're using a limit break to quote-unquote execute a boss, you're making a mistake. Like, flat out, if you use your limit break and the boss survives with like a smidge of HP left, then you nailed it. Even though, yeah... it would be nice to not have to deal with the animation lock, but if you kill the boss with it, then you've wasted some of the damage. I would say in a balanced group where you have like 1 melee and 1 range or something, that using the LB1 on one of the packs between the second and third boss is optimal. Then you will probably get an LB1 on the final boss, which can be a melee LB. The reason for that is that in an actually, like, if you're in a group that is really solid, you know, a group where you would actually think about this, like where this would matter, then you will not see LB2. Like, it'll stay, like, at best, it'll hit it right as the boss is dead. Or something like that. So it's just better to go, like, my advice that I gave in tips for DPS videos in the past was, if the boss passes 10% HP, then you're looking at the LB and thinking, what do I do with it? And whether it's just let it rip, or I'm just gonna do this thing and then let it rip. You should be considering using LB when the boss hits like 10%. I actually advise ranged and mages to wait a few more percent to give the melee a chance to do it, but if it takes too long, then the ranged should do it, because the melee is not doing it. And the reason why the ranged should just let it rip is because if the ranged stops attacking to tell the melee to do it, then you've already lost. That's it. You're already lost. Using the end for anything besides execute kind of defeats the point. Well, just because you named it the killer move doesn't mean that that it becomes a killer move. I finally landed in MSQ. And it's a scholar, because of course it's a scholar. Alright, Vespi, good luck. Also, hey, it's Jaime Marios. Hope you're doing well. Fate worse than guild test. Fate worse than death. It's okay, it's book smacking time. We give him the old 1-2 bonk. I will say a little bit of a pullback on my maybe slight exaggeration on the using LB as an execute. It's more that if you're using LB that does, say, 7% of the boss's HP and damage, for instance, if you use that when the boss has 3 or 4% HP, then you can probably see why it's kind of pointless. Sometimes when people do that, they'll also like basically spend two or three, like basically they'll start casting and then before they finish, the boss dies because everyone else did the damage necessary. Like that. That is the real reason why you might not want to use it as an execute, because the cast time is so long that if you try to line it up to execute with it, you're gonna miss it. IndiePix says, here's a fun fact about limit breaks. I keep fat fingering it with my tanks. My suggestion there would be move it slightly further away then. Did you end up in Sephiroth Extreme, Milo? A Sephiroth. And how many stream people did you get? There's 6 of you. Oh boy. That really speaks to how challenging Sephiroth Extreme can be. Exactly, as Deathshe says, the main reason why I'm like a bit the biggest reason why I'm a bit disappointed when I get a guild test is especially when I'm DPS, because a lot of the time I've sat there for 5+ minutes and then we get a guild test for 30 seconds and nothing happens. If I'm like on a support where I just queue and I get in again immediately, then it's like, I'll just go again. But like there's nothing interesting there. Have we even casted a healer? Did he just do a thing? I casted Sucker while the boss was invulnerable from the vortex barrier. But I don't know if I needed to. The biggest random detail in Final Fantasy XIV that can be helpful when optimizing as a healer in a duty like Porta de Comana is the fact that
So, this is what empowers her. Beyond mortal limits.
Whenever you recover MP from the normal regular MP ticks, you know, every 3 seconds you recover 200 MP while in combat, you also heal 1% of your max HP.
And so it shall, for the ultimate weapon.
Which means that if you're a scholar trying to be a mega tryhard on Porta de Comana, there's actually some optimization in just going, well, everyone is at enough HP that the next thing that happens will not kill them, and then just not do anything. It's not even about getting more energy drains, it's about the fact that once you're out of Lost Rates, your only option is like Sucker or Adloquium. So by really stretching out that one Whispering Dawn per minute and really stretching out those 3 Lost Rates, you can, in fact, get away with casting no healing spells a lot of the time. And one of the things you need to actually make that magic happen is don't top everyone up unless they actually need it. And they don't. They never do. Like, generally, you can wait until someone can benefit from a full Lost Rate before you do anything. Yeah, it's Mr. Yap!
What have you done?
La Brea.
More than was necessary for my god to be reborn. Damn you, Ascian. The hour is at hand. Behold but a sliver of my god's power.
What do you mean, Indipix? Is it about Milo?
From the deepest pit of the 7 hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, the world shall tremble. Unleash!
Just to be clear, we have an in-joke with calling La Habrea Mr. Yap. Then what is Gaius? That's a good question.
such devastation.
Oh, he could be Master Yap. Gaius is right. That's what he is. Wow.
It seems the task of keeping your champion alive has exhausted what strength you had left. Van Belsar, your enemy.
That would be pretty crazy, Chris.
The rest I leave to you.
Gaius is my friend. Please say hi for me. Hey, Gaius. Cat says hi.
Speak later, Ascian. But first, I must deal with you. The question of who is mightier remains. Come, adventurer. Let us.
What even is the ultimate weapon? Yeah, that sounds about right. Robot horse ram thing. Yep. I think you got it. I'll say Caetsu. Hope you're doing well. And boat. Energy drain! Energy drain! Energy drain! Ah. Energy Drain, aka Monday. Yeah, yes. Gaze upon true power. More energy drain! Didn't make it. For some reason I clicked Surecast instead. Otherwise I think I would have made it. Energy drain! Energy drain! I moved really far away to make space in case anyone wants to go the same direction as me. You see, the trick here is that I healed myself just because like I needed the HP the most, but by doing so, that means that my Kabi is not distracted healing me, they're healing the ninja. Oh right, my dot. Bronson says, speaking of guys, I got to meet the voice actor at a Comic-Con on Saturday. Oh, cool. Did he say such devastation? Was it devastating? Nice. We had the sneaky LB1 before you get the full LB3. How very glib. His favorite meme is such caffeination. Oh, that's pretty good. Nice. And we spin the wheel again. We spin the wheel again. Boink. Hey! Wow! It's Black Mage time. Yes, Astasha incoming. How's new Black Mage? I love it. But I know a lot of people find it a very dumbed down. But I love it. It's very fun. Ironically, if you don't like timers, then Black Mage is actually really, really good. Hint before under the armor. If I remember correctly, last time we did live stream Men's Roulette, Black Mage was picked and it was like in a guild test. Like, oh. Blimbo says, I learned recently that Guy's voice actor also does Ewak in the Bleach dub and I can't unhear it. Huh. I certainly know that feeling of when you realize that a specific voice actor is the same between two things. It's like, it feels like it's that other character, even though it might sound distinctly different. Meanwhile, says my Black Mage is 60 and hasn't been touched since maybe Stormblood. Would it be a good time to get back in? If you're interested in Black Mage, it might be. Remember that I have updated guides for the job now. You just have to look for the 7.2 version of the guide. But if you're not interested, then it's not necessarily a good time. But I think it's fun. If we get a relatively high-level duty, you'll of course be able to see how I play it. Alternatively, if you're not sure how it looks, you can watch any of my of our weekly Savage Raid streams and see me play Black Mage there. I've also done like Daily's Hangout as just Black Mage in the new, like this new version where you can see how I play it. So there's a decent amount of like active content on the channel of me streaming playing Black Mage if you want to see it. Let's see, look at the guide, like, subscribe, leave a comment, then actually watch it. That is also a way to do it. That is you just start looking at it and then you watch it. It's pretty good. Oh, M4N. Then I get to play 100 Black Mage.
This is nothing personal, but I must have your soul.
Wicked Thunder has returned to the...
This is a weird looking Sastasha. Yep. Also, thank you, Aerodel. You know, Lotus, you might not be wrong on that.
There is no limit to Electrope's potential.
But I certainly find it fun. Hey, Rillian, hope you're doing well. I enjoy me some Black Mage.
Electrope has many uses. Watch and learn.
Oh, look at that massive cannon. Her skills are as sharp as ever. Amazing! The challenger saw straight through it! A vicious blow! Oh, that'll leave a mark!
Take this! If one needs wings, one needs simply make them.
His great wings! Ha! Are wickedly divine!
They're all deranged. Hard left!
How's this?
How's this? Wow, she really hates that side in particular. North, west, north, west, north, west.
I'll erase you. cannot! I must not lose!
Nice.
It's all over. Until next time.
That's understandable, Mizuchi. That is generally the problem when they drastically change jobs, is that those that liked it the way it was before will not have that anymore. And that is also something that I just want to reiterate. I like the new Black Mage, but that doesn't mean that I'm indifferent towards the people that lost the old Black Mage. It's just I can't do anything about it. Right? Like, it's just, well, that sucks. What would I have done? I don't know. See, the thing is, IndiePix, I would sometimes play the old Black Mage. In fact, I frequently played Black Mage and Endwalker, just not in content that I viewed as really hard, because I felt that Black Mage was too involved for that. Some of you might be saying, well, you could just learn it. Yeah, but the way I play the game, I end up playing a lot of jobs throughout the week, and Black Mage felt like the kind of job that you kinda needed to be maining it. Right? Like, you kinda need to be maining it to play the hard content with it. But when Dawntrail came, just to give it a chance, I played through the entire MSQ as Black Mage. Like the Dawntrail MSQ. I didn't have any major problems. But once I started leveling up other jobs to 100, I ended up playing other jobs, because turns out if you can tank or heal in your friend group, you will often be the tank or the healer in your friend group. So I also ended up being a tank in the Savage Raid, in the first Savage Raid tier, right? So I just didn't end up playing Black Mage that much, but I would have every so often just do dailies as Black Mage. Just not truly hard content, because again, I found it a little too overwhelming to do it in really hard content. I needed to focus more on the fight when that was the case. And then when they made this change, they made it quote-unquote simple enough that I had no issue playing it. But because I then finally had this opportunity to play Black Mage like an extra large amount, because I could use it anywhere and not be worried, I also found out that I enjoy Black Mage that much. And I'll just say, I am the kind of player who said in Endwalker, I enjoyed level 50 Black Mage. I enjoyed Black Mage at every level. I could appreciate it at its worst. But I just wasn't good enough, in my opinion, to bring it into the really hard content. Now I can, so I'm basically playing Black Mage everywhere and everything. So level 50 Black Mage was better than level 70 Black Mage in Endwalker? Why would that be? You are aware that level 50 Black Mage is the reactive fire starter with half a second reaction time, right? Hardcast Foul? Well, we still have that. No despair? Yeah, okay. But I don't mind Firestarter Black Mage. I found it a little annoying sometimes because, like, it would be nice if you had, like, just half a second longer to react, which you do now. But yeah, that's the thing. I like new Black Mage a lot, but that doesn't mean that the ones that lost old Black Mage don't get to be justified and be sad, in being sad that they lost it. It's just nothing we can do. The best I can do is at least show some love for Black Mage, I guess. And we'll do that by not playing Black Mage now, because we have the Wheel of Jobs. Ba-da-bum. White Mage. Let me just see here. We have 2 supports left. I'll queue at 23:55. I still feel that the Glare Mage comparisons to Black Mage is somewhat exaggerated. I forgot to click Q. I'm sorry. Alamigo. That's an awkward level range. I just remembered that I forgot to swap back Broil and Art of War on my Scholar. So when this duty is done, I'll probably have forgotten completely. Have you the strength? The power to transcend. Make your tank do the Gigapull? It is possible that this tank is a first timer, so they might not have any idea what I'm talking about. Oh, it's one of those. Oh. I don't think I'll be able to convince this guy to do a Gigapull. Were you trying to snipe as a DPS, Melo? Isn't Holy a gain on 3? In this duty, in this level range, it's a gain on 2. That's why I was mousing over my tooltips. To see how much it heals for. Or how much damage it deals, sorry. Stone is 260, Holy is 140. So it's a gain on 2 at level 70. I am almost 100% certain that full mana Dark Knight, oh boy. Yeah. That's how it is sometimes. I don't really mind. It's going to be a little slow. They're saving their mana for when they really need it. Yeah. You can probably already picture what the voiceover is going to say. Full mana Dark Knight, no mitigation. They're not even using Delirium. They're not even using Quietus. They used Delirium, but they had full MP. They didn't use Quietus. So they just clicked it and did nothing with it? Okay, that's pretty funny. Hey Caitlin, hope you're doing well. Oh my. Maybe they like the animation? Maybe. I really don't know. Well, Caitlin, I'm actually pretty sure there's a lot of players with a Mentor Crown that does not, in fact, have a Mentor Roulette unlocked. I tried, but that's a lot of damage to stand in the fire. I should have used thin air for that. Oh well. Hey, Icy, hope you're doing well. The way that the Mentor Roulette is unlocked is that you can only see the Mentor Roulette if you have the Combat Mentor Crown. Like, it's not even in your list unless you have the Combat Mentor Crown. Once you have it, you can see the duties you have not completed. And you have to complete every single duty that the Mentor Roulette could possibly give you. You do not have to do Savage content at all to get the Mentor Roulette. However, you do have to do every extreme from all expansions except the current one. Hey Freezy Lemon, hope you're doing well. You know, that is possible, Lotus, but all the other mistakes they're making means that I'm not particularly inclined to suggest that they know how to play Paladin either. Like, surely they'd also go, oh, this is Spirits Within. Surely they'd realize, oh, this is Circle of Scorn, right? Alright, Harry. Enjoy work. But yeah, you have to complete every extreme that is not from Dawntrail. So have you gotten any Endwalk extremes in your Mental Roulette series? I have not. I believe the most, like the newest quote-unquote extreme I've gotten is Susano. The Susano extreme. And that one we did in a single pull because Susano is surprisingly manageable if you actually pay attention. This Dark Knight can definitely pull more. I don't quite agree, because they're not using any defensive cooldowns whatsoever. So this will be a problem the moment that they do. Like, it's... Like, the survivability of this group is entirely me. So I don't quite agree with that. Get them to mid? Yeah, see, that's the thing. A Dark Knight who's not using MP Mizuchi, I don't trust to, like, basically, this is an extraordinary example of when you see someone who's making a colossal amount of mistakes at higher level, then you just go, there's too many things. There's too much to unpack here. This Dark Knight is making too many mistakes for me to be able to help them. There's too much. There's too much. They're not using TBN. They're not using MP at all. They're not even spending their blood gauge on Caetsu as far as I can see. I'm not sure, but maybe. Oh, they're actually using Blood Spiller. Never mind. But yeah, the problem is they're making too many mistakes for me to trust that I could teach them anything. But we'll make it through the duty. And then they'll at least have that. Maybe a good experience of things working. I don't know if that's good or bad. But they did actually spend a little bit of MP in that pull. Did you see? They actually did. Can they hear me? The way I go about it, Sonic Summer, is I usually gauge the player throughout the duty. This Dark Knight has not said anything in chat. Not even hello. So I don't think they're I have a sneaking suspicion they might not care. Hi Caitlin, enjoy your evening. If they had been saying some stuff, then maybe, like just something, then I would be more inclined to like say, hey, by the way, you could so-and-so. But I save my energy for those where I'm certain that they might listen.
Success.
Hey, Giovanni, hope you're doing well. It's a high chance this is a bot. It is possible. I'm actually expecting one particular thing to happen. Earlier in this session, I don't know if it's the same person. It's a little harder because initials and all that. But I had a Dragoon and the Dark Knight in Porta di Comana, actually. Both of them, when the duty finished, sent like two messages that were like it might have been a macro thanking everyone for the duty, which is like, you can do that, but that's a little weird. And then did like 2 emotes. If this Dark Knight does that too, then that sounds like bot. Do you think you can pop sprint beforehand for the soul thing? Maybe. I've never considered it, but the whole shebang of actually getting the like becoming a spirit takes so long that you might only get like 2 seconds of sprint, even if it did. There she says, what's wrong with saying GG, thank you for partying and emoting? Nothing! That's not what they said. They said something to the effect of, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks for attending this duty. Your presence and remarkable performance made it an excellent gathering. And a Dragoon earlier also said exactly this. Like, exactly that. So either it's the same person, or it might be bot. ESL macro? I don't know what that means. English second language? I'm just saying, Troll of Reason. Just actually question, Troll of Reason, are you in EU or NA? Not that it particularly matters, but I'm curious. You're in NA. Okay, in that case, I'll have you know that in EU, this kind of macro is not normal. That's why it stands out to me, because it's not normal. So you can call it an ESL macro, but I've seen it 0 times in the past several months, and now I've seen it twice in one day. So it sounds suspicious, is what I'm saying. But we'll see. What would annoy me more is that if it is a bot, couldn't they at least have used a better bot? Hey Vespi, hope you're doing well. Freezy Lemon says, I've sometimes seen people use the auto-translation stuff to say thank you and have a nice day. Yeah, I have seen that too. I want to be clear, I've also seen people use macros to say a rather long-winded goodbye, but I specifically saw the exact same relatively long-winded goodbye twice, and I'm pretty sure it was not the same person. That's why it's weird. Oh, face planted on defensive cooldowns when they nearly died. Interesting. Dark Phoenix says almost everyone in EU is ESL though. That is exactly the reason why I asked where Troll of Reason was from. Because if you're not from EU, you might assume that it is normal that people would use such a macro in EU. It's not. That's true, Troll Reason. It's possible. I'm just saying it looks weirdly suspicious. It looks weirdly suspicious. We'll see. I'm very curious whether this comes up again at the end of this dungeon. Kill. You know, you make an excellent point, Robot.
Let this moment last forever.
Let this moment last forever. Yep, they popped Living Dead, Dark Mind, and Dark Missionary all at once. Did you know that once the first slash has gone through, if you just walk through Xenos, the 2 follow-up slashes will miss? Quite literally a test of your reflexes. That's correct, Gothix. Die, die, die! What happens if you let the bot die? I feel like I don't want to test that on the off chance that they're not a bot.
Yes, yes, just so.
What happens if you let the boss die?
More!
More!
Have you the strength? The power to transcend.
The power to transcend. Yeah, it is possible that they're just learning. It is possible that it is a bot. It's a possibility. It's not. Looked very robotic. This might just be an NPC. Yeah, exactly, Deshi. That is actually a common mistake. That tanks will just hold everything. And then just like, oh no, I'm dying! Boom! Just use everything. It's a very common mistake. Removes as I thought Kai was English second language first year videos I watched from him. I am English second language. I just didn't know that English second language was a shorthand that existed. I'm Danish. Let's see, how many are left? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we did 10. Do one more. Summoner! Hey Tognus, hope you're doing well. Because why do we think the Dark Knight might have been a bot? Moved extremely robotically was the main reason. Like, its actual movement was extremely robotic. Also, thank you to Tommy Marius and Kenwao for reminding me. But that was the main reason, Tognus. Like, it was actually moving in a strangely, like, movement pattern. It was also just a suspicion. I don't know for certain if they were, in fact, a bot. But there was just a lot of weirdness with it in general. Thank you, Troll of Reason. I'm taking it that you're hopping. In that case, enjoy your evening. Cat says, I feel like bots wouldn't sometimes spend MP. Sometimes, bots are constructed to do the weirdest things to make it look like they are worse than they actually are. Like, basically, that's the reason why I'm like, we can have our suspicion that it's a bot. But I've had people suspect that I was a bot. Because I moved a little robotically. I don't do it anywhere near the capacity in which a real bot would. No worries, remove. Yeah, exactly, it's not important. That's why it rarely comes up. Also, hey Blanco, hope you're doing well. Fist of the Father. Knockback immunity, go! Swap to speed set. If only I had one. Hey, cast up. Hope you're doing well. A large portion of my Black Mage set gets its speed from materia, you see. Huh. Every time, Brontom, every time I see games in Danish, I get confused by it. Blanco, if they are actually level 50, then my main advice would be remember that your pet cannot heal if everything has full HP. I should not have used Red Rim Trans there. Like, if everyone has full HP, then your pet is just twiddling their thumbs, so let people lose some HP and relax. The second one is try to keep people alive with Lust Rate first before you start spamming. And only panic or consider panicking if you are running into a situation where, like, you see that you'll actually run out of Lust Rates long before you'll get more. Like, use your cooldowns, take a deep breath. It's okay if people are not topped up. The act of not topping up people is usually what gets people super stressed. But if they're spamming soccer on AoE pulls, then there might be a bigger problem than them not using... I just realized the reason that there's a problem is because I forgot to actually equip any spell speed. I thought I had an actual spell speed item on my summoner set, but I don't. That's why it's bugging out. Yeah, only panic after thoughtful consideration. Well, that's a good one. Exactly, 2.5. Like, I even checked before we entered and saw that I had 246, but it turns out it's all materia. That's not good. I was certain that I had saved my set with, like, at least one speed item. That is what we call awkward. I am aware I could rest someone, but the fight is so close to over that it doesn't matter. I had to run. The chests were open, but I just saw someone recognize me right at the end. Il Scione. Were they in the stream? It always sucks when I see someone wanted to say something and then I'm already gone. Yeah. Let's do one more. Reaper. It is funny that they just dump everything on the last person. It would be nice if they just let the last person pick and choose. The most annoying part about... Oh. For example... landing in a low-level duty as Red Mage, or more precisely, a lower-level hard duty as Red Mage, is that if you get in a level 50 or 60 extreme, you might actually have people go, why is the Red Mage not resing people? When they literally can't. They can't. They don't have it. Similar to Dancer in low-level content, where sometimes people get mad that you don't use closed position. While closed position, for some reason, is level 60. Jose, Ravenous, and Custard, hope you're doing well. Oh! P10N. With what the... What? We found all the Reapers that were queuing. We found every single Reaper that was actively queuing for something. I'm just kidding, but that's a lot of Reaper. And I have Aradel, yes! I have Aradel get. Is that the only one in the stream that actually managed to snipe me? That's fantastic. That's just as one time I queued into Labyrinth of the Ancients and our alliance was literally only Black Mage. Just 5 Black Mages. Well, Dark Phoenix, what you can do is just visit Chaos and do it.
You will go no further. Like a spider, I spin my web. Prison offers no escape.
been a long time since I've done this one.
I mustn't disappoint. Lady
Mustn't disappoint. Lady Athena. Boink. Is it donut time? It is donut time.
Stay where you are.
Blech. Hey, Ymir. Hope you're doing well. Did you know two cats can't duo this fight? That doesn't surprise me. That would be pretty rough.
A tangled morsel, awaiting death. All paths lead back to me.
I think my combo's gonna end. Yep, it did. I should have done Infernal Slice first.
Of Lady Athena's power.
I really thought I nailed it, and then I didn't nail it. Womp, womp, womp.
Stay where you are.
Did I, Ymir? I don't think I did.
A tangled morsel, awaiting death.
Awaiting death.
All paths lead back to me. These bars are unbreakable.
Oh, you could! Fair enough. Yeah, in that case, I did misunderstand.
I am Pandemonium, and these cells are mine. Stay where you are. Bear yourselves to me. Your punishment shall be unending.
Ah, take this! Boink! Eat my harvest moon!
For mother.
Oh yeah, that's true. We do have an break.
Special self. Your soul scream.
Nice. Which LB has the lowest number of frames? The Alpha Reaper. I'm pretty sure one of the other Reapers were ahead of me at certain points. Which LB has the lowest number of frames? All tank LBs have the same amount of frames. All heal LBs have the same number of frames. All melee DPS have the same number of frames. All ranged physicals have the same number of frames. All mages have the same number of frames. So that means that there's 5 categories. Now, I'm pretty sure that the tank LB has the shortest amount of animation lock and 0 cast time, which would make that one the shortest one. One-shot Shiva Extreme, nice. Among the DPS, it is something you can look up. I believe the console games wiki should have it listed, the amount of cast and animation lock for every LB. But just off memory, I'm pretty sure it's the ranged physical one that is the fastest. I think. Blondum does eating my lunch and just watch 2 ambulances and a fire truck drive past going 80 in a 35. Oof. If I remember correctly, Blanco, healer is 2 seconds of cast and then 8 seconds of animation lock. Which makes it a combined 10 seconds. I feel like I made a decent amount of mistakes there, but it's not too bad. In that run, that specific run, I dropped my step 3 once. I think, aside from the drift that comes naturally from Double Enshroud on Gluttony, I think I drifted it like 1 or 2 GCDs on top of that. I guess aside from that, I didn't really make any major mistakes, I don't think. Hey, Ian Young. Hope you're doing well. What do you mean, missing out on that MGP grind? I know the Make It Rain campaign is here. I have the emote. But I'm not particularly interested in any items for MGP. Yeah, exactly, Whirlpool. I did feel like it was like 4 seconds for the tank LB. Well, how about I look it up? Tank LB, well actually I can just move it over here so we can all see it together. Tank LB is 2 seconds for LB1, 4 seconds for LB2 and 3. Healer LB, LB1 is a combined 4.1 seconds because it takes 2 seconds of cast and 2.1 seconds of animation lock. So combined 4.1 seconds. It's basically useless. With that amount of time, you could probably heal this amount yourself nowadays. LB2 caps out at a combined 7.1 seconds with a longer animation lock. But again, with like 2 to 3 GCDs, you could probably do that yourself. And LB3 is 2 second cast time again, and then 8.1 seconds of animation lock. It's 10 seconds. Which is the reason why, if you have a healer, actually healer LB, they will probably rely on the other healer using rescue to drag them out of danger, because they're stuck there for an eternity. Now, for DPS, melee DPS, is a combined 5.86 seconds with a 4-ish second animation lock. LB2 gets an extra 1 second of cast time, but aside from that, it's basically the same. So 7 seconds, just about. LB3 gets an even longer cast, but a slightly a very minuscule shorter animation lock, leading to 8.2 seconds. For ranged physical, I do recognize that it's really small for you guys. I do recognize that. That's why I'm explaining it, instead of just assuming that you're reading it. For ranged physical, LB1 is 5.1 seconds, LB2 is 6.1 seconds, and LB3 is 8.2 seconds, so equal to the melee LB pretty much. Mage LB is a combined 5.1 for LB1, and then it jumps to 8.1 for LB2, and then it stays there for LB3. No, wait a minute. It jumps to 12.6 seconds for LB3. That is a lot. How early can you rescue someone without interrupting LB? I think I demonstrated this in a Mythbuster back in Endwalker. When the slide casting window starts. So about half a second before the cast finishes. Something like that. And just, this is also something that has come up in Mythbusters. There was a myth that if you used rescue to move the person using limit break, it would cancel the animation lock. As in, the person casts limit break, and if you rescue while the limit break is being performed, like after the cast time, then the player that was limit breaking could just move freely. First of all, if that was actually true, you would know for a fact that that would be something you would see in almost every Savage group. Like, all the streamers would be doing it, but they don't. Second, you can move the person with rescue, but they will still be animation locked and cannot move on their own. But hilariously, you can actually slide cast in the LB. Like, the cast is, you know, however long it is. In the final half second, you can move. Can you cancel the LB if you rescue too early? Yes. If you rescue before the slide casting window starts, then the limit break cancels. But you can technically have a black mage just stand there casting their meteor. They finish the cast and the meteor's coming like on the way down, like the black mage doing like that like animation, and then you just yoink them out of the way and the meteor will still drop and do full damage, but they need to finish the cast for it to work. But yeah, that it is quite funny that the black mage, not the black mage, the mage LB3 is much longer than all the others. Which probably also makes it interesting to know that the mage LB does more damage than the ranged LB. Like a bit. Which is not which is actually just straight up advantage on LB 1 and 2, because it seems like it was reasonably even, almost. But on LB 3, it got a little spicy. Only 2.9 million MGP. You can't even go to the grocery store with that amount. The MGP that I have is also just amounts that I've accumulated over years. Because I don't buy anything, pretty much. How many did we get? Let's check the achievement. 781. I believe that would make it 12 tonight. But man, I guess I should be doing mental roulettes live even more often. This is crazy. How many guild tests? 0, actually. Actually 0. That is wild. But I do have to say there were 2 extremes. Yeah, we had Titan extreme and then Ramu extreme. Guys discovered the secret to avoiding guild tests. I don't even know. I want to say last time we did mental roulette, I think I got like 2+. At least 2+. I'm pretty sure we got like 5 guild tests. The reason why I know 2+ is because I remember that I landed in one with Ham and in one with Agent Monica. Oh yeah, we also had Bismarck extreme. That's true. We had 3 extremes. But I do find it funny that this time, the only person that seemed to be able to snipe me was Aradel. I don't know how you did it, Aradel. Did you also queue mental roulette? What's your secret, Aradel? Teach us. How did you snipe me? Can you get current extremes in mental roulette? No. In fact, if you fancy, this is the list of duties that you can get in mental roulette. They're all here. You can actually get recollection. So you can get trial 4, but not extreme trial 4. But I do find that very funny. There was only Aradel that managed to hit. A Bard's Hawkeye. Aha. Aradel's secret was that Aradel queued mental roulette. Wow. That is, yeah, that would do it. That would do it. But that is true. And Dechaw also caught me that way. Oh, that is true. Dechaw technically also sniped me, I'm pretty sure. Good night, Vespi. But that does make sense. Especially, like, consider if you queued mental roulette as the same role as me, you would basically be able to tell by looking at the stream whether you will probably land in the same duty as me. Like, if it says that I'm first in the queue and you're second, or vice versa, then the probability that we're going to land in the exact same duty is extremely high. Did you need to farm commendations, or did you just play for a long enough time to get them organically? So, funny story, Freezy Lemon. I believe it was in Shadowbringers that at some point they changed. I can't remember if it was Shadowbringers or Endwalker where they changed the requirement. But originally, when I became a mentor, you only needed 300 commendations. And then at some point, they were like, wait a minute, that's actually pretty low. Let's increase it. And then they didn't just increase it a little bit. They increased it to 1,500. But in the time frame since I became a mentor to them changing that, I had way over 1,500 commendations. So I never had to, quote-unquote, grind commendations, as it were. Yeah, 700 in post-Stormblood MSQ is a lot. Do you have to do all duties for mental roulette if you level skip? I don't know. I'll say Lollipop Pizza. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I think biggest factor in getting a lot of commendations is if you're good at the game. Like, I hear all those memes. I hear you. There's a lot of people that go, Lamau, look at this person suggesting that what it takes to get a lot of commendations is to actually be good at the game. What you need is just a funny portrait. I'm just saying, if your portrait is perfect, but you're garbage at the game, then you're not getting my commendation. If all the party members in my group sucks, I will commend no one. That's not how everyone works, but I would suggest that a large amount of players wouldn't commend you just because your portrait is cool. So getting good at the game is already a big factor. And then I would also say tanks and healers are more likely to get commendations. Astrologian is particularly likely if you're good at playing your cards, because if you play your cards enough on people, they might feel compelled to commend you just for that. Hey Volvian, hope you're doing well. But yeah, just to be clear, I'm not saying that that a portrait doesn't help. It's more like if you have a stalemate, like if I'm in a group where everyone was good and everyone is equally deserving, then I might just comment the one with the coolest portrait. Like, if that's how close it is, then that might make the difference. So you might as well make a cool portrait, but there's other things that play in. So if you're having trouble getting commendations, it could be a portrait you could work on, but, you know, do content with randoms. It is a little difficult for me to be sure that my commendations are fully organic. Earlier, there was a duty... Actually, I'm pretty sure it was... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Wicked Thunder. Where I got 3 commendations, and I was playing Black Mage and just attacking the boss. Either those 3 people knew me, or I was doing so much damage that they thought it made sense to commend me, or they liked how I look. Who knows? Yeah, exactly, Gothic. That's basically it, is that even if you're really good at the game, it definitely helps to have a cool portrait, but having a cool portrait might not be enough if you're bad. But I think the biggest factor is playing with randoms. The more you play with full random groups, the more likely you will get commendations. Consider that every time you're solo queuing, there is the possibility that you land in that 3 stack in a leveling duty, or that 7 stack that just needed the 8th. And they might all commend you just because it's funny. 7 commendations. It hardly matters what you did. They just thought it was kind of funny to just drown you in commendations. Are you saying you could get commendations if you play your cards right? Exactly. Oh, same, Volvian. If we're ever doing like dailies content on stream and we're like 1 person short as we queue in, I will like be telling people to comment the rando. Like, quickly get them before they leave. That kind of stuff. And yeah, also that, Gothics. I basically automatically give no commendations like 99.9% of the time in guild tests, and I tend to not give it if someone asks for them. Seems a little bit against the spirit of it. Yeah, I've heard that too, Cole. The suggestion that using the exploit to skip cutscenes in Praetorium is reportable or punishable. The thing is, I'm not saying it's not. Okay? I'm not saying it's not. I'm also saying it might not be the coolest thing if there's an actual first-timer, right? But I haven't heard of anyone that actually got punished for doing it. So what I'm saying is, maybe be careful with it, but I haven't heard of anyone actually getting, like, punished for it. I might have just not noticed. But yeah, in regards to more Mentor Roulette Live, at least the next few weeks, we're probably doing a... I don't know how long it'll take to max out that stuff or lose interest in it, but we're probably going to do Occult Crescent on stream a bunch. So either when that's no longer fun, or when we're done with all the mount farming, it might be easier to fit the frequent Mentor Roulette Live. But again, so I certainly appreciate that a lot of you enjoy that. So thank you so much for that. Cole says, I have no idea how good or bad anyone else in my duties are usually. Well, Cole, then you're clearly not good enough. You're not so amazing at the game that you can play your rotation perfectly while also looking at everyone else. As a mage. I'm just saying, I ran into people that suggest that that I used a DPS meter because I could tell someone was playing wrong. When what I was looking at was a combination of the enmity meter and looking at their character and going, you can see that they're doing so-and-so animation for so-and-so attack. You can see that they're playing wrong. If you look at it and know what the animations are, and then a lot of people will probably go, you know what the body animations are for attacks? And the answer is yes, I do, in fact. I can tell if a Viper is playing their rotation wrong by looking at them. VX says, remember when I sniped your alliance in Thalea as the 8th player? I don't, but it wouldn't surprise me. In fairness, Detchi, the enmity bar isn't perfect. It isn't always clear, like it's not always perfect. It can, like healing can impact it, but it is a pretty good starting point that the person who is highest on enmity just below the tanks is probably doing more damage than the ones that are like a few steps down. It might be up in the air, like the person just behind them, which one is doing the most damage. Like some DPS jobs produce an amount of enmity from healing, just passively, over the course of the fight. Like, a summoner will generate a negligible amount of enmity from Rekindle. They'll also generate an amount of enmity from Lux Solaris. They will not generate a relevant amount of enmity from Summoning Bahamut. It's actually a misconception that Summon Bahamut actually generates a relevant amount of enmity. We tested it on stream, I believe. Summon Bahamut, while it says that it increases enmity in target when it is summoned, it generates, drumroll please, 1 enmity. 1. So, if a summoner's beating you on enmity, there's a possibility that you're close to them and their healing is making the difference. Or they're actually doing a ton of damage. If the White Mage is second, that's actually somewhat normal in some level ranges if they AoE heal a lot. That's true. Sometimes they'll also just send an Afflatus Rapture because they don't need it. And that's a lot of enmity just for no reason. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw in a Shiva Extreme that I had a White Mage in my group that was like 3rd on enmity. And that's because they basically used Medica 2 every time anyone took damage. Why even mention the enmity generation then? It matters because if it didn't say so, right? So the reason why it generates enmity is because I can't use it here, right? I can't use it here, so I can't activate it without being in combat. If I use it with a target, I enter combat with that target because I generated 1 point of enmity on them. They make it really weird by saying increases enmity in target. Like, they could have worded it differently, but then again, did they have to? Yeah, also, Perrin said it as well. Felinaxo says, shirk on your healers to keep enmity watchers in check. You know what, that is also a good point. There's a possibility, if the tanks are frequently using shirk for the memes, that someone will have more enmity than they should. Because someone just decided to shirk them. But there is actually a tip there. There is a tip to be had for alliance raids. It doesn't matter. In most cases, it really doesn't. But if you're having trouble with staying, like if you want to not be tanking something in an alliance raid, and you need to like drop your enmity, normally in a raid you would just shirk the other tank, problem solved. But in an alliance raid you can't do that because you can only shirk someone who's in your party. But you can shirk someone in your party. That will not put them so high up that they'll over-aggro you. You just take 25% of your enmity and give it to one of the damage dealers or healers in your group. They will not over-aggro you from that. But it will definitely give the other tanks a head start or a lead. But, it doesn't matter most of the time. Yeah, those kind of things are not super well explained, or like actually on that note, will shirk be visible in the party? I mean, if you use shirk on someone, they will definitely jump several places in enmity if they're not already just below you. Time to watch your video on enmity. Oh, I think I have 1 or 2 of those. One of them is really old, though. But the key things about enmity tracking is the first one is, of course, that you can see this bar to see how much enmity you have relative to the one that has the most in your party. The second one is the enmity list down here. If the gem is... I think I mentioned that in a few videos. If the gem is green, then you're safe. You're good. If it's yellow, I can't remember if you're past 50% or past 75%. And if it's orange, it doesn't really matter what percent it is. It's close enough that you should stop if you don't want to over-aggro now. And when it's red, you have aggro. So generally, as a tank, you want it to be red. If you're not the tank, you don't want it to be red. Most other colors are fine. But like, for instance, if you're participating in a big AoE poll and you're just smacking something at random and you notice that the gem is turning yellow and then orange, then you should switch to attacking something else. If you're single targeting, at least. If you're AoEing, that it might be a little too late for that. Crazy the Alga mentioned the benediction on Sid in Castrum. That is a pretty funny trick. Anyway, 12 duties. We did get some variety. What jobs did we not get? We missed Pictomancer, Viper, Red Mage, Samurai, Dancer, Monk, Machinist, Astrologian, and Dark Knight. So we basically missed the Heavensward editions, we missed the Stormblood editions, we missed the Dawntrail editions. the whole shebang in all 3 cases. And then also monk. But I think that's pretty good. We also had 3 extremes, which I also think is pretty good. Now, I think that'll be that. So, if you enjoyed this particular stream, it helps me a lot if you leave a like on it here on YouTube. That tells the algorithm this was an enjoyable stream, and you'd like other people to enjoy it as well. So, thank you so much in advance. And if you'd like to be part of the Discord community server, there's a link in the chat right there. There you will find the schedule, the weekly schedule, where you can see what else is coming up in the coming days. I usually update it Sunday or Monday. You will also find the announcement room with links to videos and streams when I put them out. And if you grab the reminder role in the role assignments room, you'll get a notification whenever I post a video or stream, as well as an extra one around 15 minutes before stream starts, so you can catch it right when we go live. And if you'd like to support the channel even more directly, you can become a member of the channel, you can gift memberships, you can use the super chat system, or if you don't like any of that, there's also the Ko-Fi link that Ariel posted in the chat right there. It all helps support me and the channel directly so that I can focus on doing stuff like this with all of you. So thank you so much for the support. But that'll be it for tonight. So good night, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where you are in the world, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye!